All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease, so on and so forth, title forever in the works. Yet again, if you guys have a recommendation for a title, let me know. I am doing this in batches, so if you've made any recommendations over the last few videos, I will have that sent to me, and in my next batch that'll come up, so give me some time. It's gonna be like, it'll probably be like 6 or 7 videos before your recommendations start to come in. But they will pop up. So we will, for the time being, we'll use our placeholder, which is when the smell of bacon's in the nose, evil lurks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something that is truly evil, right? Something that's truly evil. SLOP content. I know. I produce SLOP content myself, so this is gonna be a touchy subject for me. But we're really gonna focus on Darksydephil and his definition of SLOP content, and or how his content isn't SLOP compared to other people. Now, the reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that's all DSP has ever produced. He probably single-handedly, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, over, because I'd say altogether, DSP has probably put out easily 90,000 videos over his existence, because he doesn't live, but over his existence on YouTube. Easily 90,000. I mean, most of it's been lost, but you know what I mean. He's in the 90s for sure. He has to be in the 90s. That's all slop content. It's all garbage, all of it, each and every one of it. And the fact that he made $3 or $4 million off some of it, or with some of it, is kind of crazy. But it just goes to show that you can literally be unskilled, untalented, and unknowing of everything and still gain more than most. So there you go on that. Anyway, DSP goes into a very unique rant about SLOP content, how he makes his content is meaningful, how it's thought provoking, and yada yada yada. You've all heard his pig squealing before, and so we're going to go into that segment, and then we're going to take a detour and whatnot to a video that I've already used previously from James the Lesser, and we're gonna go in and get a feel for some of this nonsense. So let's go ahead and strap in really fast. We're not going to go over the whole video in question, just a small segment. I'll hit the rest of that later. So let's cut that garbage music off. There's nothing There's nothing wrong with your screen and whatnot. I'm messing with this thing with the opacity and whatnot, because there's a particular thing that I'm looking for, and I've almost got it. So that's why it looks like that. So this is done by design. It's done on purpose. It is done on purpose. Okay, so I am looking for, I think the question at hand comes at the 4-minute mark. Give me just a second. All right, this should be where it starts. God, dog, his music. I'm really hating your music, though. Really
okay, someone tip 2.
Okay, there we go. We're right there. I'm really hating your garbage music. All right, big ups to Raw Phil, and let's see what DSP has to say as it pertains to the definition of SLOP content as he knows it. Here we go. Oh, actually, hold on a second. I gotta actually, sadly, I have to actually mute my music for this to happen. Actually, maybe I don't. Now I think about it, I probably don't. I could probably keep my music going while his is up there, and it probably doesn't affect anything. Now, we'll see. You gotta break new ground somewhere. All right, here we go.
$2 says, you say you make meaningful content. Could you elaborate? Sure. Here's the difference between SLOP and meaningful content. Okay? SLOP. SLOP is literally content anyone can make.
Okay, that's what I make, what you make, what anybody makes on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I mean, outside of a few outliers who really go crazy and have some real talent as it pertains to editing or production or so on and so forth, essentially anything that you've seen on YouTube, it can be replicated in some way, shape, or form.
It can be made any day of the week, at any moment. It's minimal effort and maximum profit.
He forgot his own catchphrase: minimum effort, minimum time involved, maximum profit.
It's because it preys upon human nature.
He's exposing himself like an idiot, but yet again, give DSP enough rope and he'll hang himself.
It preys upon the weak. It preys upon the exploitable people.
You mean the same people that You say that you want to show up to your content each and every day, but you also have the nerve to say that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics who watch your content every day are losers and they should be able to get jobs, or they should go out and get jobs, despite the fact that you demand the same fucking bottom feeding, bottom of the barrel debts to show up and give you money and support every day. Who wants someone to come to their content every day? I don't expect people to watch my content every day. That's just a bit much for anybody under any circumstances. Oh, by the way, this is all brought to you by Tim Snortons at SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company, and Heart Snorts Gin and Tonic. So, with that being said, who wants that? Yeah, I want people to watch the content, but not every day. That's just seems abusive now that I think about it.
Gullible people. Okay, so for example, what do I consider slop? All right, someone who literally just sits around all day watching other people's content and talking about it.
But that's you. You don't make the video games. You're not skilled enough nor talented enough to make the video games. Your content is literally predicated, if that's what we're going to call this, his content is literally predicated on other people's talent, on other people's creativity, on other people's intelligence, on other people's passion. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I reach out to Triple P and Andy and see what they think. But pretty confident that's how that worked.
That's slop. Now that's commentary, sure.
Well, fuck commentary. That's pretty much anything theoretically. Speaking of which, my theory, and this is just a theory. It's not a Theo theory, because if it was, it'd be good. But one of my theories is that he's not just taking shots at commentary, which he means Turkey Tom, he means Kino Casino. Theoretically, he means Asmongold too. But he's also taking shots at video game reviewers, people who get early copies, advanced copies, influencer copies, review copies. He's taking shots at them too. Keep that in mind. He's not going to come out and overtly say it because he's a coward, but I think that's what he's going for.
Commentary can be part of content. Commentary should not be all you do, all right? Because you didn't make any content for yourself. All you did.
But isn't my ideas, isn't my opinion not content in itself? Didn't DSP say, and I'm not gonna quote it, but didn't DSP say that the difference between his content and other people's content is how he chooses to play the video games that he chooses to play? The decisions that he makes is what actually defines his content as content. And at that time, I think he was using it strictly in the definition, or to define what he considered his content, or he was considering his content as art. It was something silly and fucking lame like that. Something that a lame would say to try to make themselves feel better about the fact that they produce garbage, and then other people came out to produce better garbage and they couldn't keep up. That's essentially what it was.
It was ride the coattails of others to make content. So if you can't make...
So like all those game publishers and developers that you shit on for making terrible games, hence the reason why you're getting terrible views, in turn you're getting terrible stream attendance, in turn you're not getting the contributions you deserve. Didn't you yourself say that if they made better games, more people would come out to your streams and more people would contribute? So you're literally dependent on other people's talent and know-how and creativity and intelligence to create shit. So by definition, what he's saying is he produces slop content. Isn't that crazy? But see, here's the thing. He thinks he can hide behind the guides of, oh, well, I play video games. Slop content is produced either way you see fit. If you're saying you need to have talent to do set thing, and if you don't have set thing, anything that you would never be able to create anything at all, then he's creating slop content. Maybe that's just me.
Any original content that anyone cares about, you're just a...
What's your definition of original content? You sitting down and playing a video game theoretically isn't original content. You're playing someone else's creation. Now, yeah, you can add your own commentary or whatever, but that's based off of, or that's on the back of set content. That doesn't make it original, champ. Semantics. Go ahead. I'll let him play his cards out. I know. I hear you all right now. You're saying, hey, let him play his cards out. Okay, I'll let him do it. I mean, we're gonna string him up anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't missed the Ides of March, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. So the rest of March, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep shanking this Gouty Caesar and whatnot, because that's what we do here. That's the tradition over here. So, you know, I'm on it. I'm all for it. But it's real crazy for you to sit there and say people don't make don't make original content when you yourself don't make original content? That seems kind of crazy to me. That seems kind of wild. And it's funny, we don't make original content, right? But he didn't mind being over there with Kino Casino sucking dick for 8 months. He didn't mind chasing down Asmongold for as long as he did until he got that rub, which he wasted. He don't mind sitting there stalking LTG for the better part of, depending on if you believe if you think he started stalking him in 2016 or 2018. I'm thinking really it's like 2016, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? So depending on that, or how he was stalking fucking Wings of Redemption. Was all that original content? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Slop peddler. That's all you do. Okay? So if all you do is you react to current events, you react to political news, you react to other people's gameplay, you react to a movie trailer, you react. You
mean all the things that side scrollers do and what they were planning on doing when you were trying to get in the bed with them? It's really weird that he wants to get in the bed with all these men and wants to shit on all this content, which almost all of those people that I have named actually do or have done in some way, shape, or form. That's crazy. That's so crazy.
You're slop, you're worthless. That's not meaningful content whatsoever. Maybe every once in a while you'll have a...
And then the fact that, here's the thing though too about the meaningful part. You yourself really can't sit there and put the label on what you make as being meaningful. Other people do that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how that's supposed to work. Like, I mean, don't be wrong. It's going to have sentimental value to you. But like, alt can't... I'll use alt, for example. Big ups. But it's not like alt can come out and say, hey, what I do is meaningful. That's not necessarily how it works. He may think it's sentimental to him, right? But that doesn't necessarily make that meaningful. The mob actually kind of defines whether that's meaningful or not. If it's meaningful to him, then that's called sentimental. Meaningful is something for the masses to actually come to those terms on. I'm just using that as an example. So who the fuck is DSP to say anything about anything? Oh, that's right. People don't think his content is meaningful, so he has to overcompensate. Sorry, I answered my own question.
Moment of insight, but for the most part... And
what insight do you provide? Let's check that for a minute. What insight do you provide? Hold on a second. Let's go back just a few seconds. Unlike Kat, who wishes she could probably take back some of the decisions that she's made over the last few years. Sucks to suck.
Political news, you react to other people's gameplay, you react to a movie trailer, you react. You're slop, you're worthless. That's not meaningful content whatsoever. Maybe every once in a while you'll have a moment of insight, but for the most part, anyone can do what you do. You're completely and utterly replaceable at any moment.
So are you. Actually, he might not actually be. Being how fucking ignorant he is and how useless he is, he might actually corner the market on what he does. And I've been pushing this narrative since the GDC shit happened, and I've had a lot of pushback over the years, which thank you, because I really appreciate that, because it's helped me craft my argument a little bit better, because I believe in it, so I need to stand 10 toes on it. If not, no one else will ever take me seriously. But truth be told, when the time comes, he's gonna be known for being one of the if not the main culprit, as one of the elements that has actually dumbed down gaming. And I stand on that, and I don't and I stand on that pretty much alone since I actually said it, and I'll continue to do so. And sooner than later, time will prove me right. That's the impact that Darksydephil, DSP, Darksydephil, Phil Burnell, Dark Geppetto will end up leaving this earth with. Well, on top of the fact that he's a pedophile defender and a groomer, and he might be a pedo himself. Now that I think about it. Anyway, semantics. That's all bonus shit. We'll figure out how we'll get that on his gravestone later. But he may very well be known for that. So imagine you dedicating 18 years to an industry that you yourself hate, and then you may have actually dumbed down that same industry over your time by just existing. By just existing, you may have brought that industry down. That's fantastic when you think about that. Holy shit.
And just to prove my point, if any of those people disappear, immediately 3 more appear to replace them.
The same thing could have been said. Shit, the same thing happens to you daily. Do you know how many new people pop up on YouTube or on Twitch or on Kick or on Facebook Gaming or on wherever and start streaming games? They're a dime a dozen. And most of them are actually far better at the games than DSP, even if they don't have the disposable income, which is not really disposable. DSP should be using that to pay his taxes or some bullshit, but whatever. Who have far less as it pertains to income, but yet exhibit far more talent, skill, and charisma than anything. So let's call a spade here. DSP wants to talk about meaningful content, but we never speak on actual entertaining content. You never notice that? We never actually hear that. We never hear nothing about people actually being entertained by the content. Strange, ain't it? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just, I might be reaching.
They're completely replaceable, not unique in anything that they do whatsoever. Their content is only good in the moment. Okay? If you don't watch it today, like if you wait a week to watch it, it's completely meaningless content.
Well, what happens if you have someone like me who just posts the games late anyway? Or what happens? Well, if that's the case, right? Then what's the point of you playing retro games that have been out for like 20 years? Like, all of us have seen it and or played it. So who are you trying to exactly market to? If that's the case, then why won't you just keep up the actual original streams? And why are you even bothering to break everything down into segments and parts? If that's the case, if you want to try to play the longevity game, and then more importantly than that, I surmise this, I can't really prove it, but I'm pretty confident that half of his catalog is worthless because it's all copyright claimed. So even if you did watch any of his old content, which is rare, but even if you did, it doesn't matter because he doesn't get anything off of it. Last time I checked, what does he get? What is he at currently? 500,000 views a month? Maybe? It's a far cry from the 3 million. It's a far cry from the 5 million. It's a far cry from the 13 to 15 million he used to get back in the day. So how many people are really going back and watching that old content? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Because it's only talking about junk that's going on right now, and it's outdated right away. It's crap, okay? And sadly, I hate to say it, a lot of the
people value other people's opinions. So it doesn't matter how late the situation is. That's why like history documentaries and video game essays, amongst other things, still exist and still thrive. Speaking of which, let me clarify this real fast. DSP says that he used to make fucking video essays back in the day. He didn't. He didn't make video essays. He's trying to say those fucking his Hateful Truth series, which is basically him just bitching and complaining about a particular game for a particular video, was a video essay, and it wasn't. That's literally the definition of just slop. It's literally non-tent existed for one pathetic little man who thought that he fucking had an opinion that people valued, and he put it out there for profit. And I use the term man loosely, by the way.
people who make that kind of content don't care if what they say is truthful or not.
Coming from the same person who said, an answer is an answer. It doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. An answer is still an answer. And you want to sit there and call other people out on their honesty? Okay, that's okay.
Don't care if what they say is harmful or not. All they care about is getting a reaction.
Aren't you the same people who have called for other people to get fired? Machinima, people at different game companies and studios and publishers and stuff like that. Is that stuff not harmful? Okay, I'm just asking.
And a rise and support from their audience. So the more extreme, the more insulting, the more nasty, toxic, and hell, defamatory they are, the better off they do. So
you mean all that racism and sexism and all that other bullshit that you did back in the day that you allegedly profited so well from? You mean like that behavior? I can go at this all day, Phil. I'm not going to, but I could.
It's like I've said, people like that.
I'm going to skewer you in a little bit. We're almost there.
If someone else's worst day of their life is your best day because that's the content you make, you rely on others messing up for you to have content, you don't make content.
So that situation with Kino Casino and over the Review Tech USA thing, right? So that wasn't anything, right? That whole situation when you went at, what's that guy's name? When you went at COG, that wasn't content either, right? All the times that you went at Wings, that wasn't content either, right? All the time that you went at what is that? Locale Live, that wasn't content. All the time that you're going at fucking LTG, that's not content either, right? I can keep going. There's so many other examples. Your shots at Toby Turner, your shots at fucking iJustine, your shots at Tevin, your shots at Snort Brunel, your shots at Secret Limited. Shall I keep going? Because I can. You know what I'm saying? PewDiePie, Markiplier, Ninja. You wanna like, we can keep playing this game if you want. You know what I'm saying? I run around with 2 of them. So, you know what I'm saying? I got clips.
You just don't. You're essentially a leech. Okay, you're a parasite.
So that makes you cancer then, right? Okay, I'm just asking. Maybe I injected myself a little too soon.
All you do is you profit off of the misery of others. Misery brokers, right? That's SLOP.
That's funny. Did you call fucking did you call Keem a misery broker? No. You did say that whole thing about when everybody's having a bad day, you're having a good day, man. I remember you saying that fucking lame ass gay shit. But did you actually call him a misery broker? You might have. I'm gonna let you breathe on that for a minute.
That's not meaningful content in any way, shape, or form. Okay?
But you didn't mind holding Keemstar to such high esteem and say what he did was pretty damn impressive and how he made a kingdom, or he built an empire off of essentially people having bad days. You didn't mind sucking his dick though. All right, whatever.
For me, I want to make content that, first of all,
either you're wanting to make content or you do make content. I'm not sure if you can't tell the difference between the two, but I figure that it should be pointed out to you. Either you're doing or you're not.
is timeless. And when I say
no one's doing anything that's timeless. Sooner or later, all of this shit's gonna get scraped off the server. Stop.
that, I mean, you can watch my...
I mean, I'm sure Derek might remember it when he's fucking jerking off over the dead prostitute that he ain't sat there and just fucking strangled and shit, and he'll say it was an accident. He might remember that in 20 or 30 years, but that doesn't make shit timeless. I understand that was a bit dark, but yet again, this is Eyes of March, and I got a fucking axe to grind, so I'm gonna let me do me. But other than outside of that, let's be honest.
I play through a Resident Evil Requiem as the game comes out. You could watch it right now. You could watch it in a month. You could watch it in a year. You could watch it in 10 years. It's still just as good, just as entertaining, and it's timeless.
But it's the real entertainment came from your stupidity. And why would I watch your shit when I can just go and watch Max's? And now I think about Max currently at the time that I'm recording this, he's on like the insanity run and whatnot, which is hella hard. I'm not doing that shit, but I'll watch him do it. But Max is on an insanity run right now. That shit is crazy. It's fun though. It's a fun watch, and just being on the stream, like he has if you wanted to have like a streaming community, so to speak, you want Max's. Like it's hella inviting in there. Like people are just hella chill. You know what I'm saying? And then there's just a lot going on too, but you don't feel like it's overpowering. There's a bunch of people speaking about a bunch of different stuff, but you can jump in and out of all of it and don't feel like you're overstepping boundaries, or you don't feel like you're being smothered. It's a Max has somehow, some way developed a pretty interesting camaraderie over there, for all intents and purposes.
You see? It'll always be pertinent because it's representative of the time that game came out. You can see my thoughts about honestly what the game was, whether it's I really like this game or man, I'm frustrated.
He's bullshitting too, because he's literally conflating the value of his opinion with the actual popularity of the game itself. He's actually conflating it and trying to make it seem like the game isn't what's boasting him, right? It's his opinion on said game is where the real value is. The game is just the backdrop, when in actuality it's the other way around. The game's carrying him, not the other way around.
At this part, right? Reacting to the scares or whatever. That's timeless content. That's meaningful content because it's genuine. It's not manufactured. It's not overacted. It's just actually what I'm feeling in the moment. And the best part about it, it's not harmful to anyone. Me playing Resident Evil Requiem and reacting to it and giving you my honest feedback and commentary on it as I play it doesn't harm a single person on planet Earth. So...
You mean except for the dent that can't get out and get a job because he's watching your shit, or the dent that can't buy a car, or who's gone into bankruptcy for the 4th or 5th time, or who chooses to spend his dead wife's insurance money, or the dent who chose to fucking give you money instead of putting braces on his kids or in his kid's mouth, or, you know, so on and so forth. That right there in itself don't seem harmless. And don't get me wrong, a dent has a decision to make, and it is their decision to make, but there's still a dent. Hence the reason why they give him money. Just saying.
I profit from it. You get entertainment out of it. No one gets hurt. That's meaningful content. That's the difference. Versus a SLOP. Except
for the fact that you have to beg and plead, and then you have to threaten to stop playing the game because no one's supporting it. Is that not hurtful or harmful in some way? I'll wait.
Peddler or a misery broker who all they do is hurt others to get ahead. They stomp on others.
That's kind of what you do. I mean, there are dents, and it's not like their lives are worth very much, but they still are, you know, they must mean something to somebody. I'd like to think. I don't care, but I'd like to think.
Because they don't have talent. If they had talent, they would go do something meaningful.
So basically, hey, if you guys have real talent, prove that you have real talent. Don't do content on me anymore. Do content on someone else to show that you have talent, and then I'll completely disregard you, and I go on my merry way, molesting fucking financial. Actually, let me clean that up. Financially molesting fucking dents and those who are physically and mentally disabled, and allowing me to do me. Is that basically what he's saying? And I say that because DSP has said that a bunch of times over the years. Oh, if you guys really don't need me, stop making content on me for a month. Let's have a truce. And if you guys have something you want to ask me, just reach out and ask me, man. Don't sit there and make videos making these assumptions because you're hurting me and my family. You mean fucking gay shit like that? Fuck that. Fuck that. No.
They don't have the ability to do so because they're not intelligent enough. They're not entertaining enough. They just don't have it. So
and you are, being that everything that's around him right now was at the charity of somebody else, whether Kino Casino or Asmongold. You didn't earn anything. You suckled at their teats and on their dicks to get what you have currently. And you got the nerve to say that you got talent. You have the nerve to say that you're intelligent. Last time I checked, your sister-in-law, Jenna, Officer Sanders, she's a whore. Last time I checked, it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to be a whore. So you and her actually have a lot in common. You suck off other men to try to make yourself feel better and to try to keep up with the Joneses. And she sucks off to, I don't know, fill bathtubs with fucking Kool-Aid or Tang or whatever the fuck she was doing and shit. I don't know, whatever it was. You guys are both weirdos. So who gives a shit? I don't know how there's any talent or intelligence in any of that. Two whores being whores. Semantics.
instead, just make fun of everyone else. So you're a loser. All you can do is down talk someone else.
Which is literally what you've been doing for years. Didn't you fucking try to copy Howard Stern? Who did Howard Stern ever uplift? I'll wait.
There's two ways to go about proving that someone isn't good. Either
I don't need to prove that you're not good. You do it for me. That's your problem. That's your problem. He really thinks, outside of maybe Duty and a few others, I guess, no one cares that much. There's not a lot of heavy lifting that is required to do this shit. Like, DSP literally does everything. If Duty, for example, if Duty would just stay out of his own lane and get out of his own way, he'd be fine. The reason why people got a problem with Duty is because of Duty. It's not because of what he says about DSP. I mean, yeah, he lies on him and all that bullshit, but whatever. That's part of Duty's branding. But for the most part, if Duty just stayed out of his own way and whatnot and stop trying to insert himself in the shit, he wouldn't have nearly as many problems. And if he didn't lie on people, he wouldn't have all the problems that he has. Like, it's not that deep, DSP. It's really not. It never was. It never really was. Holy shit.
you can just make fun of them and defame them, or you can one-up them and do something better than them.
But why? I don't need to one-up you. I just want to see you burn. That's all I really care about. That's all I really require. I don't need to prove that I'm better than you. I don't exist, I live. There's a difference. When my time comes, believe it or not, people are gonna actually care when I'm gone. But you, who do you have? After Linda and Dave clock out, who do you have? After Melissa takes her piece and goes back to wherever she's at, who's really gonna give a shit about you? What, Kat? What, Panda? What, John and Howard? What, OJ? You think T Carter's waiting for you at the fucking pearly gates when it's time for you to clock out? Nah, I don't think so, champ. I don't think so, champ. So just off of that, I don't need to compare myself to you to fucking feel better about myself. Shut the fuck up.
Right? So if you think, oh, this person's terrible at what they do or whatever, so one-up them. So prove that you could do it better than them. Don't just shit talk them, right? Do something better for yourself, for everyone else, and make more meaningful content.
Oh, shit.
But these people don't have the capability of doing that. They're just they are the modern day court jester, meaning they could go out there. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing:
this clown face monkey is gonna sit there and call other people court jesters because he don't want to say clowns because he's a clown himself. Funny.
Today on the internet, people just aren't smart, so they're not smart enough to understand that content is all smoke and mirrors and is just garbage. Like
the very content that you talking is smoke and mirrors and is garbage. I really don't think he has a grasp on what the situation is. Holy shit, Phil. It's not like people jump online and just talk shit about him without any type of like evidence that backs that up. That's very rarely a thing that actually happens, right? Whether you're inserting a clip in or you're talking over a clip itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's out here except for like maybe like a small few are out there just blatantly lying on you and fucking and like slandering and defaming you. That's not really a thing. Whatever.
If you sit,
this is the same guy who believes that SOK was looking out for him in his best in his best wealth in his welfare or his best they were thinking in best for him. This idiot has reduced himself to that. That's where he's at currently in 2026, but he wasn't saying that shit back in like 2016, 2017. Semantics.
Around watching meaningful content, you'll probably have a good time and you'll probably learn something, maybe get a little wiser, a little smarter.
Really, by someone who went ahead and went into foreclosure on a condo because he was too lazy to pick up the phone and speak to the broker. Someone who went through bankruptcy over a fucking gotcha video game and then continued to lie about that shit. Someone who's not even in a marriage, they're in an arrangement. They are in a relationship of convenience because they don't want people to know that they're gay. They don't want people to think that they're a loser. So you paid for a broken woman to pop up to your house to take care of you. You sat there and adopted a cat, whether you declaw them or not, we're not really sure, but you sat there and fucking adopted a fucking broken down cat to also make yourself feel better, and then you fatten them both up and let them get, well, you let Jasper get like a bunch of UI problems. Who knows what the fuck's wrong with Cat, whether she has cancer, thyroid, whatever the hell she's dealing with, to all make yourself feel better. And then when people started to shit on you over that shit, then all of a sudden you want to do something about it. And his answer of doing something about it was to make himself lose weight, to starve himself out, right? To draw attention away from the people in his life that he ain't fucked up. Okay, that's a choice.
If you watch the slop, if you watch the garbage, you actually get dumber. And all of human culture is hurt by that kind of content. It just is. Like,
and what have you contributed to human culture, just out of curiosity? How many times do you leave your house every day, Phil? How many people do you talk to in IRL, by the way? How many people do you talk to face to face every day in your life, Phil? Just actually, that might be too much for you because you don't really live, you just exist. Tell me how many people that you speak to in a week, face to face. Don't worry, I'll wait. And Cat doesn't count.
Brings us all down collectively as a fucking human race. The fact that that stuff exists and is propagated and is profitable, it just means we're stupider.
Keep in mind, it's the same guy who stole Howard Stern's fucking whole gimmick and shit and tried to pass it off as his own on YouTube. Keep that in mind. And got himself deplatformed. He got himself deplatformed from another place, Blip.tv, over that same joke stealing, basically. Skin walking, if you will.
In existence, human existence. We're just dumber for liking that crap.
You are very dumb. I agree.
So, it is what it is. I can't change the fact that so many people are dumb and like toxic, negative slop.
Yeah, like the people who watch your content. Yeah, it must be hard being a dent.
But I don't have to make it.
I beg to differ, but all right.
I can be my own person.
I would say that you're not actually even a person. You're more of a sponge, honestly. You just absorb the traits of other people who you feel are successful or getting over in some way, shape, or form without understanding why they're successful or they're getting over. Like emulating like successful people is one thing, but understanding why they're successful, hence the reason why they say, they think, and they move the way they do, is probably really important. Now, maybe that's because that's just the Negro in me talking like that and whatnot, and someone like himself couldn't understand it. I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like it's rational when you think that way. Anything else, or we're just going to keep sucking down whatever it is in the phone. God damn, your music sucks, Phil. It's garbage. It's garbage. Anything else? No?
It all started, you're right. It all started with reality TV.
All right, let's cut that shit. Let's cut that shit. I'm not watching any more of that. That's disgraceful. That is fucking disgraceful. Anyway, I'm not done yet though. Let's go ahead and go on a field trip. Let's go ahead and go on a field trip. Fucking A. Fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. Fucking ridiculous. All right, let's see here. Move some stuff over for a minute. Let's see. Should be right here. You are. Okay. All right, here we go. So, if that pops up, and it should, we're over here on James Lesser's channel. Big ups to James Lesser. And James made a video talking about my views are great. They're not, talking about DSP in particular. We're going to take a quick watch of DSP's fucking slop content here. Just that I feel like it paints the picture in the best possible way.
That's a lie. Video on-demand views way down. Wrong. My on-demand views are exactly the same. Every month I get about the same amount of views. There's some peaks and some valleys depending on what I'm doing, but for the most part, they're exactly the same. No change there. Live support way down. Wrong. My live support's doing very, very well, actually, especially since I abolished the goals. I don't talk about goals and shit all the time. It's actually doing better.
Meaning begging. I like how he's tried to move the concept of begging onto goals as if he's still, like, as if he ever really stopped begging, which he never did. He still begs. God damn, your eyes are dead as this is literally our dead fish eyes. Wow. James the Lesser really was on to something when he said the fucking, the darkest eyes, you know, say the devil's eyes and whatnot. Jesus Christ. That's ugly. Ugly as shit.
But you don't know that because you're an idiot and you listen to the wrong people. You get 300 views a video. So
they should listen to a pathological liar and come away from that feeling like they have the truth of the situation? Okay. If that's not cult-like, I don't know what is.
Might be the one thing that's correct out of everything you just said because views are public-facing, except you're an idiot.
If you, wait. So if you could hide views, then you would lie? Hold on. Listen to that again. Listen to that again.
You get 300 views a video. So that might be the one thing that's correct out of everything you just said because views are public facing, except you're an idiot and you don't understand.
So because he can't hide the views, he can't manipulate the narrative, so he'll eat that. But everything else, he feels that he can control or is behind the scenes, so he can manipulate the truth any way he sees fit. That right there is a very important part of DSP psychopathy that really should be taken into account. And this is something that myself as well as others have been trying to tell y'all. DSP will manipulate any information he can as long as he believes he's in control of it. And that's why he says the shit that he says about tips. You don't know how much I make in tips. I could lie to you about the amounts and you wouldn't know. Only I know. No honest person says that. Not even jokingly. Hell, E-Thoughts don't even talk like that.
Understand that I get views on the YouTube stream.
And he truly is the king of the E-Thoughts if you think about it.
I get views on the Kick stream. I get residual views on the Kick stream because that stays live for a week.
A year? I wonder if he could get away with that shit. Would he let it? Because there's nothing that he does that stays live as it pertains to a stream archive, I should say, for a year. So where was that lie gonna cook us into? Hear it again.
Except you're an idiot and you don't understand that I get views on the YouTube stream. I get views on the Kick stream. I get residual views on the Kick stream because that stays live for a week.
I get residual views on the Kick stream because they're up for a year. I mean a week. How do you conflate a year and a week, my guy? Okay.
And then I get the on-demand views on the individual video. So when you see a video and it's like part one of a playthrough, 1,000 views. Yes, that one time was 1,000, but there was views on the original stream. There was views on the Kick stream.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting tons of views on all my content. It's just not all in one place.
So we're going to cope like, oh, you know, the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, all those restreams, all those views, those are my views. All those videos out there that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics make on me, those aren't their views. Those are my views. So this is the new cope now because he don't want to use that anymore because it makes him look stupid. Okay.
So you look at that and you say, oh, he only got 300 views. Yeah, except I got paid. So what the fuck do I care what the views are on the video? I don't. My ad revenue is remaining around the same. My overall views are remaining around.
So you collected like 50 cents on a 300 view video, and you're okay with that. But if someone tips him less than $1, he gets into a bitch fit. All right, fair enough.
Around the same, and my live streams are making tons of money. I'm in the Kick Partner program.
I'm exaggerating about the 50-cent thing. Like, even with as low as his CPM probably is, he's probably pulling like $1, maybe.
Ad revenue out, I got everything. I'm good. I'm made.
Hello, and welcome to James, the Less Express Line, where we get you an out as fast as possible with, guys, the views are good. The views are great. This is why we can have nice things. I'll be covering that soon. But Raiders, an all-out human versus robot bloodbath in RimWorld. Oh, 178 views, 238. 325.
All right, let me cut in. This is literally the definition of slop. Like, first off, who does this anymore? Who drags out playthroughs like this, I should say, to where they need to number shit like this? Why the fuck are you even numbering your Street Fighter shit? Who cares? None of that matters. Why? Why do any of this? None of this shit makes sense, but this is literally the definition of slop.
565, 208, 161. Ooh, 1.2K. I wonder what happened there. Now, mind you, 229,000 views.
Yeah, but most of those are dead accounts or like troll accounts that were abandoned. Like, if he you can do this. If he requested an audit on his YouTube channel and they swept away the like inactive channels or whatever, he'd probably be at like 70, 80,000 at best. And even then, I'm probably being generous.
229,000 subs, I mean. Blah. I know what I meant. 229,000 subs, you can't even get 1%.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, 3.5K views. Oh, because this is, it's a scam. The Virtual Boy won't let you stream from it, so it's a scam. I mean, yes, it works. It does everything it says it's supposed to do. Allows you to play Virtual Boy games, but you can't stream while you're doing it, so it's a scam. Like, he can't even get 0.5% of 1%. Can't even get half of 1% on average.
Yikes.
My views are great, guys.
Look at this shit. Literally the definition of slop. Oh my Christ. Look at this shit.
My views are great. Bull fucking shit. How are you getting like the same amount of views as I'm getting? You have over 220,000 more subs than I do. Shout out to.
Speaking of which, James Lesser actually does better in views than DSP. I don't know why he said that to be diplomatic, and I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. I respect what James Lester's a better man than me. But that's the reason why James said that. James gets way better views than DSP did.
20 gang.
And James doesn't upload nearly as much. not like the slop that DSP doing here. Jesus Christ.
It is just insane. You're getting roughly the same amount of views as I've been getting.
Look at these weird ass groomer thumbnails here. Like, good God, Phil. Yikes.
And yet you have 220,000 more subs. And over a decade longer than I've been doing this. Guys, things are good. Things are great.
Yeah, but see, you don't do this as a job, James. You don't do this as a career. This isn't your life's calling. This is something you do on the side for fun. This idiot literally depended on this shit. That's the difference. Holy shit.
Whomst are you trying to convince with that? Your fans? Really?
Look at this mindfuckery here. Good God.
Or yourself? Weirdest game I've ever played. Wow, what a thumbnail. But got 2K views. Almost 1%, guys. He's getting so close to 1% there.
Look at this shit. Holy shit. I heard a rumor, right? I heard a rumor that DSP was trying to like do like, I don't know what he's trying to gag on there. Anyway, I heard a rumor that that DSP kind of switched up his thumbnail style or whatever to try to make it more in line and try to make it more sensationalized like he sees in detractor thumbnails and shit. I think he missed the mark by a lot. By a lot. This is really bad. And then it's all discombobulated. It's not in the right order. None of this shit's. This is bad. This is really bad.
Ooh, 666 views. Don't want to ruin that.
Jesus, look at all that shit.
Just
garbage.
Do 1.6K.
Just slop for the sake of slop. That's ridiculous. But he got the nerve to say other people produce slop.
Not even 1% though. You have videos from 3 weeks ago that are, oh wow, 1.9K.
Holy shit, he got a video from 3 weeks ago that hasn't even broken 600 yet. Shit, this one hasn't even broke 5. God dog. Boy, it's a good thing he keep bleeding those dents on stream, because if not, we're not having a good life. We're not winning. We're not good like this. Not with these numbers.
And it's not gameplay. It's about Highguard and bitching about it.
Jesus.
Ooh, actual gameplay video has 1K views. Again, Highguard. 3 weeks ago. It's insane that you have videos a month old with 487 views. 408 views.
Look at that face there, boy. That's probably why Cat gained all that weight. She didn't want this to be on top of her, squealing like a pig as he's about to hit his climax. That's probably why she put on all the weight, so he wouldn't want to sleep with her anymore. That's harsh. Size of March. I'm gonna do what I got to do, but that might have been the reason. Because what other? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why Cat could have put the weight on. I might do a video on that, but there's a lot of reasons why that woman may have put the weight on. You know what I'm saying? For sure, on purpose, I should say. Then again, there's also a lot of medical reasons that could have caused her to put the weight on. But if you had this on top of you, ladies, you know what I'm saying? Fucking squealing and huffling and puffing. Yeah, I would see you losing your sex drive and then wanting to make sure he don't touch you either. Shit. And you remember how squeamish she was when she was skinny, and he would like try to wrap his hand around her, and how like she looked like she was about to scream and she was trying to hold that shit in. Look at her now. Wow, son. Wow.
378. DSP, what? 347. DSP, what the fuck? 18 years. This is your job, not a hobby. Not something you do for fun.
Yo, what is this? Hold on. All right. Oh no.
And these are.
All right. What is this? Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, I get the font because you know what I'm saying, what he's trying to go for or whatever. But like, I thought we weren't a children's entertainer, bruh. It looks like, man, there's a lot of potential grooming bullshit here. Fucking Vito and shit would probably have a field day with this nonsense.
Views. Now, apparently, he's going to start letting some of the live streams stay. Let's go check out live.
Yeah, we don't need to do any more of that. I'll link James Lester's video down in the description. Big ups to James. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, Phil. That's ugly. That's ugly. You can't fight them charges. You can't fight that off. Holy shit. You cannot fight that off. That is rough, son. That is rough. All right, let's switch back over. Okay. Oh, let me turn it off. All right. So, in closing, to the ladies and gentlemen of the Gouty Coliseum, I'd like to think that I've made my case. He's got no business, you know what I'm saying what is slop content and what it isn't, when he's literally produced, that's all he's produced in the last 18 years. DSP wouldn't know what good content is, let alone meaningful content, if that shit smacked him right in the goddamn snout, let alone anything else. Like, Cat's channel, or Chaos Realm 1, is still up. Is it great content? No. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? For what it was. It's not great and whatnot. She had some funny moments in it. It is what it is. I wouldn't throw any money at it, but it's you know what I'm saying? Who knows what she could have done and whatnot if she didn't fucking shack up with Darksydephil. You know what I'm saying? And then think about he keeps saying that my content doesn't hurt people. My content doesn't hurt people. He's literally broken off relationships with his friends and family over his fucking content. He's damn near sacrificed everything for his YouTube channel. Damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. He lost his job over that shit a couple of times, you know, as well as the FGC, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. And he can keep saying, oh, I can get a job whenever I want. I can get a job whenever I want. Then when you tell him to, he comes up with 1,000,001 reasons why he can't. All right, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've bled him enough and whatnot. I'm gonna leave my pound of ham on the floor where it belongs and whatnot. I'm gonna cut some baby backs real fast. I'm gonna cut some bacon. I'm gonna cut some pork belly, and I'm gonna leave the rest of y'all. Well, I might take some pork chops too. I may take some pork chops and whatnot. I love pork chops with applesauce or smothered pork chops. I'm on that too. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of this up and whatnot, and then I'm gonna keep it moving. Thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, people. And this has been, I'll name the segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. The Eyes of March. I'm gonna keep riding for mine. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourselves, people. I'll catch you on the next one. Later. Later.